So what we've done, we was assigned the task of coming up with a TVP, which is stands for business practice, but it's a root cause analysis, which is in a presentation form, and we look at every problem possible to solve the main problem that we do have and come up with a root cause for that and countermeasures as well. And so we're each going to introduce ourselves, and then we'll get into our presentation.
Good morning. My name is Jordan Kearns, and my safety commitment is that I'll never work on a machine that has not been properly locked out.
My name is Julian Stanford, and my safety commitment is that I'll never use a machine that has not been properly guarded.
My name is Rachel Gardner, and my safety commitment is that I'll never trust that a wire is dead, and I'll always check it myself.
My name is Heath Stockman. My safety commitment is to always keep my work area clean and free of hazard.
My name is Hunter Eubanks. My safety commitment is to always wear the proper PPE for the job at hand.
My name is Brett Terrier. My safety commitment is to always be aware of forklift traffic in place.
My name is Josh Estes. My safety commitment is to always use 3 points of contact while on the ladder.
All right. So, step one of our TVP was background information. AMT 127 labs, which is our industrial mechanics class that we have. The industrial mechanics labs they were taking more time than expected. This was also causing conflict with other classes due to the lab time running over. By finding the issue and eliminating it, we will be able to complete our labs effectively and in a timely manner. So, industrial mechanics lab time was taking longer than necessary. That was our initial problem. The ideal time for these labs were about 2 hours. The actual time that was taking us was about 3 hours per lab. So our gap there is initially 1 hour. And the effects of 1 hour gap is less time spent on individual labs, more likely to fall behind on other labs, and time constraint causing effects on other classes and effectiveness of those labs.
Right here in section 2 is where we break down the problem a little bit more. And you can see that it shows right here. This is our ACDC expected lab time right here versus what the actual lab time was versus another lab time right here of a different class, and how it was actually shorter than the expected lab time in doing this lab. And right here where our expected lab time, you can see is substantially longer. And over here, our main problems were where we were missing parts. We would have to go through and we would need certain parts. You can see here and here how there's missing spots where we would have to get our parts. And so we figured out what our problems would be, and our biggest one. You can see right here, it takes a half hour for each task except for gathering materials. Gathering materials took an hour and a half, and that was the main point that made us take our labs take so long. So we spent most of our time gathering materials and it wasn't able to get the full effect of the lab within the time constraint.
Because it took us an hour and a half, we noticed that the prioritized problem at the point of occurrence was gathering materials. Because whenever we went to get our materials and tools for the labs, we discovered that many of them were missing, and it took a lot of time to locate the parts that we needed.
As far as our setting targets, our target was to reduce time spent gathering materials by about 20 minutes per lab assignment by January 31st, 2018. Here you can see our cumulative time and our goal time. Our goal time is 1.5 hours, and our cumulative time is about 2.5.
So knowing our problem now, we decided to go into our root cause analysis to figure out exactly what the problem was and where it was occurring at. So if we take a look at FAN, possible would be lack of skill, but our class instructions provide the proper training. Lack of motivation, that's not an issue because the instructor keeps the students on task. Under method, we have possibly improper installation, not an issue because the instructions are followed. Lack of instruction, lab manuals and instructions are available. No standardized method, all labs follow the same procedure. And under machine, another possible cause, breaker trip. The correct breakers were installed in the machine. No reverse on the motors. That wasn't affected on the lab.
All right. The key cause in our cause analysis was material. The main thing was missing tools and components. You go in, and obviously, as you see in this picture, this is what you come into. There are some parts there, some are gone. multiple classes use them, so that comes back to being unorganized. The lab area was 5S, but it's hard to sustain when multiple classes use the labs. 5S standards not followed. As far as environment, the amount of space is fine. Keith and Barry, you've both been in there, you know the lack of light's not a problem. And there are no distractions other than us as a group.
Section 5 was developing countermeasures, and there are 6 sections in this graph to visualize it. We have the proposal itself, safety, and the grades for all the safety, feasibility, cost, efficiency, and then the overall judgment. Our first proposal was to just get newer more parts. That actually had our best grade. The only issue in it was the cost. The second proposal was to consolidate trainers to make 2 complete trainers. That got a terrible grade. The cost and efficiency were awful. So third was to make a parts checklist. It had an also good grade. But if you notice, the judgment was a yellow. So we determined that cost is a one-time problem, and it is better than having an overall worse efficiency. So efficiency will be an everyday in and out issue, whereas cost will be a one-time problem. Next was our review materials prior to lab. Very inefficient as well, so it got a poor judgment. And getting more tools, it was all right, but overall our best bet was to get newer more parts.
On the last part of the countermeasures, we have a who, what, when chart. So our what on the first one is to develop parts and tools checklist to sustain availability. That will be the who is the AMT students, and that's going to be taking place about mid-December on through our graduation. Our second one is obtaining new parts, components for mechanical trainers. That is our instructor, Colin Sims. He will be taking care of that in the past end of November all the way until we graduate. And then our last one is communication with other classes and groups, and that will be following us again from talking to the other classes we have and the next year of AMT students. And that will be taking place from mid-November all the way until we graduate.
Are there any questions?